Welcome to the channel. I'm Teacher Jay. Today we'll be talking about how to improve calculation ability. Are you frustrated by your child's careless mistakes? She knows how to solve it, but miscalculates. What's the point of knowing how to solve it if she can't earn the points? These are all very common complaints we've heard from parents. Parents tend to blame this on their child's carelessness. But is it only carelessness? Let's think deeper. What is the root cause of this carelessness? I will argue that the cause lies in a lack of calculation ability. Thus, to help your child avoid careless mistakes, in this video, we'll be talking about how to improve calculation ability. The video will be divided into 3 parts. I'll first talk about the causes of calculation mistakes, followed by the ways to improve calculation ability, and finally, I'll give a conclusion. So, without further ado, let's start the session. What causes calculation mistakes? At the start of a calculation, at least we need to know the foundational knowledge, right? So a lack of understanding of foundational knowledge will lead to mistake. In this case, the student is trying to compute 150 times 23. While computing 5 times 2, the 0 here should be below 4, not 5. So the 30 should move 1 digit left. The student made this mistake due to a misunderstanding about the column method. Moving on, now we are given some easy expressions, like the expressions without carrying. If the students cannot solve it fast and with high accuracy, that means they have insufficient mental math ability. Mental math ability is the foundation of all calculation ability. For easy expressions like the addition and subtraction without carrying or borrowing, or the multiplication and division in the multiplication table, students should be able to tell the result directly without thinking. The lack of mental math ability will lead to slow calculation speed and high error rate. Moving on, now we are given some harder expressions, and this time we cannot solve it with mental calculation easily because it involves carrying digits. We recommend writing down in the column method. But if the students lack of written calculation awareness and insist of using mental calculation, any misremembering about the carrying digit will lead to mistake. Moving on, skipping steps will also lead to mistake. Many students dislike writing things down, so they tend to minimize the number of steps. But if they don't write it down step by step, in the middle of a calculation, any misremembering will lead to mistake. Let me give you an example. In this case, the student is trying to compute 21 minus 6. Instead of writing down 21 minus 6 equals to 15, she skipped this step and write down 16 directly, which is a mistake. If she can write down 21 minus 6 equals to 15 and don't skip this step, she probably won't make this mistake. Moving on, except for these 4 reasons, poor handwriting will also cause mistake. This will include unclear numbers, unclear decimal points, unclear operation symbols, unclear erasing or corrections, disorganized equations, and misalignment of digits. Poor handwriting will cause the students to misread, overlook details, and struggle to catch their thought process. Alright, finished talking about the causes. Let's take a look at how to solve them. So how to solve these issues? The first issue, knowledge not mastered. In P3 and P4, these are all the foundational knowledge taught in school. Observe your child's homework. Are they making any mistake due to misunderstanding about this foundational knowledge? If so, explain the knowledge to them again, or you can ask for the teacher's help. After your child has understand this knowledge, tell them to explain it to you a few days later to see if they fully understand it, or they're just memorizing it. The second issue, lack of mental calculation skills. Then your child might need more and more practice. It is only by practice that the child develops a muscle memory, so that in the future, they will be able to tell the result directly without thinking. But practice also needs to be done in the right way. Firstly, it should be targeted. Observe, what are your child's weaknesses? Are they struggling in multiplication, or are they struggling in addition or subtraction? Focus on this weakness, do a lot of questions. Secondly, it should be timed. It is only by timed practice will the child develop a sense of urgency so that they can focus on the practice, and this will improve their calculation speed. Thirdly, it should be done on a daily basis. This will reinforce their learning so that they can become more and more familiar with calculation day by day. Let me give you an example. Let's say I'm struggling in multiplication. Let's admit this plan. For 21 days, I'll attempt 30 multiplication questions per day within 1 minute. Now this won't take your child much time, but you will observe, as time goes, your child's calculation skills get improved. The rest 3 issues are all habit related. No awareness of recent calculation, skipping steps, and poor handwriting. Now what we should do is to cultivate good calculation habits. But how? Now to cultivate good habits, the first step we should do is to define standard. What is called good habits? For written calculation awareness, whenever we encounter carrying, borrowing, or decimal operation, we recommend use column calculation. And also, we shouldn't skip steps. We should write down every step following this order. We should solve the equation following bracket, exponent, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Let me give you an example. In this equation, we first break the bracket, and then we solve the multiplication, and then we solve the subtraction and addition step by step. Now for handwriting, what is called good handwriting? It means clear and concise strokes, and the equations are aligned properly. Alright, finish defining the standard. What should we do next? We should provide positive feedback to the students whenever they reach such standard, to encourage them to keep up with such good standard in the future. Alright, finish talking about the solution. Let me give a quick conclusion here. In conclusion, in this video we have talked about 5 common causes of calculation mistakes, and we have also given the corresponding solution, which are mastering the knowledge, practicing, and cultivating good habits. Improving calculation ability is a long and complex process, but it is definitely worth it. Because a good calculation ability will improve a child's grade at school and will also build a solid foundation for their future math studies. In the end, if you like this video and you want to check out more interesting contents, scan the QR code on right and follow our YouTube channel. Or you want to check out more P3 and P4 study resources, scan the QR code on left and join our WhatsApp group. For now, it's time to say goodbye. I'm Teacher Jay, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!